So you cannot hear yourself if you don't even know who you are listening to. This is the realization of our 21-day experience. Today is day 21, so excited. And this is basically the outcome. And the thing, what we all know is, we identify ourselves so much through pain. So we hear the inner dialogue of pain, the story, the habit, other people's voices, our own voice, the nervous system, everything that is suffering. And actually what we just have to do is slightly change our focus, because there are always two sides of the story, is it? And there are always two dialogues going on in you as well. And the other dialogue is actually about your uniqueness, about your abundance, about your gifts, about your purpose and your vision. And that is where identity is actually guiding you through. And if you start listening to identity right there, then your whole focus will change, your whole inner world will change, because the focus is different, and your whole outer world will change as well. You can still feel and see chaos, but you are not going to identify with it anymore, because you identify yourself with something else, with the other story, basically, with the story of success, abundance, and freedom, let's say like that. And that's why we do identity activation. That's why we do soul codes, that you speak to yourself. That is the first thing you do. You speak those to yourself. You can actually hear yourself again. And identity can also hear all that, and you're gonna get into a different communication right there. And I'll be honored to guide you through that. I already guided so many women, and it's such a blessing, and it's such a pleasure to do that. And it's also the mentioning, like, finally being home. And home is something that, we have also two stories to. Some have a good experience, some have not a good experience with it. But what I discovered is building that home in ourselves, with our identity, with our soul code, with this communication, with this dialogue that's actually getting us to the next step. That is the home that I want to guide you to actually create for yourself, for your children, for your family, for future generation, generational wealth, generational health, generational healing. That is the way, my friends. That is the way. So head over to my bio site, find your entry point, and talk to you soon.